I wanted to make a recap on XBIO, why it was on my radar, why I traded it, and how I think about some of these things. XBIO on the 14th had announced publication of some data from one of their phase studies. Had a pre-market pop, 86, came down. It was a really underwhelming day. It didn't really do much at all. But the reason why I bring this up is because this is kind of what made me think about XBIO, and it's what eventually made me be prepared for it. So you see that pop, it's kind of in the back of my mind. A couple days pass, few days pass. So what ends up happening is you get this resistance at 158. Hits it twice, gets knocked down, and just kind of consolidating. So I liked that consolidation and saw it run into close the day before. This was that started to creep up into that key resistance level, and I saw some volume come in. I said, all right, it's making a run. Let's see if it continues in the morning. See if it can get over that important resistance level. So in the morning, I see it opens and it some support at 158 and 157, 5, some large bids that I'm liking, and I see that there's some prints coming in at 159, kind of hanging out here. And 160 starts to get bought through, so I just start buying. I buy 1,000 shares at 159 and 1,000 shares 60. Basically, bought about 1,000 like right here, and I bought 1,000 right here. I got a nice surge, 164. I wasn't really sure what to expect with XBIO. It's just kind of one of those names that been kind of weak lately. It doesn't really make big moves, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but it ended up holding a trend, and I liked it enough to actually then add another 2,000 shares right here at 166. So the reason why I added is it's nice, taking higher lows, and I thought it was going to break out pretty hard, but the pop was kind of not great, not that much strength, but I held on and at least risked 165, and it held 165 and started to go up again. Tried to give it as much time as I possibly could, but the strength was not there, so I cut at 172, locked up $380 on it. I wanted to talk about the multi-month because this was also an extremely important reason why I was watching it and why I took it. See, on the multi-month, it's been developing these higher lows, and overall you can see how important that 158 resistance has been throughout the months. It's been a really key level back in September. Multiple areas where that level is extremely important, and that's why when I saw testing that level again, and after data news, kind of like the news comes out, it washes a bit, but then it recovers, and maybe a delayed breakout because of news, that happens from time to time. I thought that it's been consolidating for long enough that I may get really big move to test 2, and if I had a $2 breakout, I thought that I could even get 220. So my expectations for this play were very high. I thought that this could provide a lot of upside, but even though you go into a play with high expectations, still have to react logically to the price action. And if the strength isn't there, you shouldn't ignore it. You should lock in profits because it's just not the day. You can tell when something's just not strong, and I felt that with XBIO, so I got out of the way. But I did notice it held all day. It held 168 all day, and what we ended up getting was a re-entry. I played this development. Look at it like a triangle. The base of support. So I saw it making a clean pattern, and then I got right here. Timed the entry real well. Saw some bids creeping up on level 2, so my entry was somewhat based on level 2 development, how that all came together. As you can see, I don't really know if this means much, but volume completely washed out to nothing, basically. I got the nice confirmation urge from my, which led to new high of day breakout, which really underwhelming to say the least. I saw it go to 185. In hindsight, obviously I would have sold it at the top, but I didn't know that was going to be the top. I thought it would consolidate and then test that high and maybe break out in power hour. We test 2. Again, like I wanted to give this time. I really felt like the upside was there, but the more I watched it, the more I felt it. The strength just wasn't there, and I could tell that I was going to have to get out of the way. So I cut right here at 177, and about a minute later, it cracked down to 173, and eventually went below my original entry from the afternoon. So I'm glad I got out of the way and at least locked up 140 on that. The strength just wasn't there, so it happens. I still think that it developed quite nicely. Like it was clean enough to definitely play it, and good example of how you can adjust in real time. The expectation or potential is there. If real time you just don't feel it, it's alright to get out of the way and lock in some profits at least. You have to adjust to the price action. I think that's the most important thing that I want to cover. Is like there's this balance between sticking to your plan and respecting the price action strength of the play. It's tricky because it's not an exact science. It's something you just have to feel, kind of make your best guess at. It takes practice, I guess. I'm decent at it. Sometimes sell it when I think it's weak and then recover and break out, but this time it seems like I was pretty on point with XBIO, and I think I played it pretty well, so couldn't have played it much better, really. Pretty happy about it. Ended up making $640 on the day, mostly because of XBIO, but a couple other little scalps in there. And I don't mind watching XBIO. for the next week or so. I mean, still like the development on the multi-week, multi-month. I'm open to watching it. If it's good, I'll play it. I will see what's come with this guy. Not sure.